Hello and welcome to The Beard, the Brain, the Brawn. I am Stuart, the stupendous, serendipitous Superman Purcell, alongside don't give me that look, my co-hosts, the bearded brother Bauman, and the informational inquisitor Zach Mayer. And yes, we are here to talk to you about all kinds of stuff today. We've got some exciting news about a lot of stuff about Marvel. Some possible castings, some possible plot developments in their universe, along with a bunch of other stuff. I mean, you know the drill by now. Stick around, and we've got all kinds of interesting stuff for you. So, what do we got?
So we're going to start off with everybody's favorite Marvel actor, Robert Downey Jr. He's confirming that there has been talks about Iron Man 4. Not really a plan yet, but they are in negotiations. I'm pretty sure if they take a dump truck full of money and drop it off at his house, he'll be in it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they're a boatload now.
Yeah.
it's been, we've getting these reports every week. It seems like we're getting something else that Robert Downey Jr. is not doing it. Then he is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
There is no negotiations. Now there is negotiations. It just seems a
It's
lot
like
of back.
Favre of acting.
Yeah.
I mean,
without the picks.
You know, everyone wants him to be in the movies. I don't know if he wants to do them anymore. But, I mean, if Marvel keeps throwing money, I guess he'll keep on doing it.
Yeah. And the other part of this is that he's going to be in Captain America 3 with the current rumor being Civil War is coming, which will be, I mean, we talked about this yesterday, not on the podcast, but I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they play it since they don't have the rights to the X-Men and the mutants, which was a big part of the Civil War.
I'm just saying, why would he not do it? I understand you've been in this role a while, and maybe it's starting to get boring for you, but seriously, the only reason be like, oh, I can't do this role because I'm so tired from climbing up the mountain of cash that y'all dropped on me.
Right.
Oh, poor me. I can't do it anymore.
I mean, I do feel him, though, because Sherlock was a pretty similar character as Iron Man is. They're both intelligent, smart talking. It's essentially like the critique everybody has on Johnny Depp is that it's Johnny Depp pretending to be a character. You know, oh, this time he's a pirate, this time he's a...
Yeah, but Robert Downey Jr. isn't a douche.
Agreed. But I mean, you know, but Sherlock is very similar to Tony Stark's character in a way, so I could understand how 10 years would get old. On the same hand, I'd worry about that on the way to my bazillion-dollar yacht, and my personal Death Star. So I'd do it.
The dude drives around in an Audi R8.
It's
That's
not
a nice car.
Not a bad gig.
I would, if they keep beating the dead horse and money keeps coming out when you, like, hit it, rather than, goo or whatever comes out of a dead horse, it's money. I will stomp on that thing until it's particles.
Right. And I believe Gwyneth Paltrow hasn't really been very pumped about doing it anymore. And while I think her character was important in the movies, kind of as his balance.
Oh, here we go. Okay, what about this? What if in this next movie...
I'd be fine with her gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily like her.
She brought some humor into, like, the first couple episodes. I liked her
Absolutely.
interaction with...
and she kept him grounded.
I mean, I like how they made her slightly more integral in the third movie, but in the movies 1 and 2, it was like her one line was Tony.
She just keeps him grounded.
Tony. He was like the Shia LaBeouf in Transformers, where he yelled 2 words: Optimus and no.
She was the Michael from Lost.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. Find me any line that Shia LaBeouf yells in a Transformers movie that isn't no or Optimus. That's all he does.
Accurate.
I think we should talk a little bit maybe about the Civil War and, what the aspect is.
The North won, the South lost.
Okay. Well, coming from what the rumor mill is that the movie could either be 2. It could be either the Civil War, which is most likely, or it could be called The Fallen Sun. I don't really know much about that.
I bet that'll be beef with Winter Soldier and Tony wanting revenge.
Could
be interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
could be. But what Civil War was Marvel's big old flagship from 2006 by Mark Miller. And, it was all about the Superhero Registration Act, a legislative bill forcing all vigilantes to register their identities with the government and act under its command. Stark was in favor of the bill. Cap did not like this bill at all. I thought it was a great story. I didn't get to read all of it. I read a lot of the first aspects of it, but that branched into so many comics that it's really hard to keep up with it.
Yeah. It was a cool story, though. It'll be very interesting to see it in movie form.
Right, because, I mean, like you said earlier, that the X-Men were a big part of it. A lot of mutants were. I mean, Fantastic Four was a part of it. That's owned by Fox. Spider-Man, which is owned by Sony. Which there's been rumors that Marvel and Sony are negotiating about.
And their relationship's a lot better than Marvel and Fox's.
Right.
Okay, so Marvel and Sony, if you switch the letters around, is Moni, which kind of sounds like money, especially if you're doing the Billy Idol Monet. So yeah, how did that collabo won't work?
This is coming from the guy who doesn't read comic books, only watches the superhero movies. So that was lame.
I just made a Billy Idol reference. You shut your filthy mouth. Billy Idol will find you. I can tell him where you are, and he will beat you.
No more white weddings.
Okay, let's probably move on to the next topic. But the Captain America, the newest Captain America movie is supposed to come out mid 2015.
Mm-hmm. No.
Oh wait,
16,
no.
isn't it?
Teased. Okay, so sorry. Marvel teased a new Civil War comic book for mid-year 2015. Sorry, I read the article wrong.
And there'll be some big ramifications for Chris.
But you're right. 2016, May 6, 2016 is when it's slated.
Mm-hmm. This could be the exit strategy. I'm not going to say anything else, but this could be someone's exit strategy.
Could be. We won't spoil it this time. We'll talk about that maybe in a future podcast.
Meanwhile, we have a lot more brooding.
A lot more brooding.
Next up, this is just kind of a short topic, but if you're a fan of the anime Naruto, the manga of it will end November 10th. I know these two aren't super big anime, especially Stu.
You shut your mouth.
Okay, Andy's been getting to it a lot more
I'm
lately.
back on it. I took a break. I like a 15-year break, but I'm back. Devil is a part-timer. Is hilarious.
Yeah,
big fan. Check it out. Netflix.
but Naruto's gone on for. I mean, the show will still continue for a while until the manga it catches up to the manga.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we're at over 500 episodes. Oh, actually, I think it's 600 episodes. So there's a lot of content. One of the best-selling mangas out there. So it's gonna be really sad because I followed this since the beginning.
Yeah, it's super popular.
It's very popular.
I've seen a couple of the cartoons before. I've never read the manga.
To be honest, I'd never heard of this until y'all started talking about it.
What? That little kid with the headband and the orange jumpsuit that does like martial arts?
Stu is
Do I look like I follow kids in jumpsuits.
Stu is uncultured.
Don't give me that look.
If it's not food or working out, I don't really think he has much
false
topics.
I'm also
He plays
relatively
Destiny.
well versed in firearms.
Truth.
Oh, okay.
Come at me, bro. I got guns on guns.
It will be curious to see how they end it.
Very true.
I'm about 6 years behind, so I have no idea what's going on.
So, I got some actually news. Look at me being all productive and stuff. So, Doctor Strange casting possibilities came out today. There is a supposed shortlist. Now, there are other, I think Ryan Gosling's name got dropped today, but at this point, if you're a male and you're an actor, you've been linked to this role at one point or another. So, this is the officially unofficial shortlist for the role. There is Oscar Isaac, who was in Inside Llewyn Davis. He was Prince, or King John, I guess, in Robin Hood. Actually, a really talented actor, and he not only acts, but he sings in most of his movies, and he's actually pretty good. Matthew McConaughey, I doubt that happens because he's too busy winning Oscars and whatnot. Ewan McGregor, who is, I think he'd be okay. He tends to kind of go for the nerdy stuff, a.k.a. Star Wars. And Jake Gyllenhaal, who enjoys kind of going after dark dramas. But the most interesting one, in my opinion, is Jared Leto, who is apparently aggressively lobbying for it. And I've seen some of the movies that he's in, and I think you said it best when you said that he is probably, with the exception of maybe Christian Bale and a couple others, he's one of the most in-depth character actors in Hollywood, which is
saying a lot, but he's amazing.
I mean, that dude gets into his roles.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would he be the best? I don't know, but I know that he'd probably give the most effort into it, which I'd be all for.
I'd prefer Jared Leto, or let's talk about my man Oded Fair. You know him from that Splinter Cell show Showtime had about terrorism a couple years back. He's in one of the Mummy movies. You'd
He
recognize
was
him.
in most of the Mummy movies.
Was he?
He was the BA leader of the.
Oh, that's
good
right.
Guys,
The Bedouins.
Magi or McGee or whatever the hell they pronounce it.
The Bedouin guys.
Yeah,
He's
he was
awesome, and it doesn't hurt that he looks just like the dude. He looks like Dr. Flippin' Strange. I might just only call him Dr. Strange from now on and just be awkward with it. But either one of those would be spot-on choices.
I'm just ready for them to pick somebody. I mean,
Yeah, they've been
you know,
planning for a
this
while.
is also, I mean, they had the same issue with Ant-Man trying to find the main character for him. I'm done. I'm like, you know, you've given us 50 guys, just choose one. It can't be that hard.
Right.
Find someone who wants to do it, who's going to be committed to this for, you know, could be 10 years. Find someone committed and just choose somebody.
Yeah.
It really can't be that hard.
I mean, I understand it's a process, and I understand it takes a while. My thing isn't, I'm not necessarily upset with Marvel for taking a while, which I'm fine with. I mean, take your time, vet these guys, do plenty of casting things to make sure that they do it well. I'm more annoyed with the constant leaks, which, I mean, if it happens once or twice, cool. But at this point, we're just throwing names out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's totally going to be that one guy from, you know,
As long as it's not Topher Grace.
it's actually Mario Lopez, a.k.a. A.C. Slater, from Saved by the Bell.
But will he have backpack phones?
Damn right he will. So I'm just tired of the constant names being thrown out, and everyone's like, oh, he'd be great, he'd be great. Oh, no, he'd be even better. No, just shut up until it comes out. Until then, silence.
But if you wanted to pick Oded Fair, that'd be all right. But they do talk about it way too much.
What else? What we got?
We have DC just planned out their movie schedule through 2020. So I'm going to kind of do a rundown. Obviously, we know Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. It comes out 2016. Suicide Squad is coming out in 2016. Wonder Woman has her own movie coming out in 2017. Justice League Part 1, going to be directed by Zack Snyder, will be in 2017. There's going to be a new Flash that's not going to have the same Flash that's in the CW's TV show, which I kind of have my beef with, but we'll see how it goes in 2018. Aquaman, starring Game of Thrones, Jason Momoa, will be in 2018. Shazam, 2019. Justice League Part 2, 2019. A Cyborg movie, 2020. And Green Lantern, 2020. Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, that'll be pretty interesting. I don't have any beef with the Flash. I like the new guy they have as the Flash, but I don't. I'm indifferent. The other thing, though, is that if they don't keep him, then that means the chance of our guy, because we're both big fans, Stephen Amell being the Arrow in any movie is probably shot, because you'd imagine they'd use both since they're in the same universe.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I would have loved Stephen Amell to be, pop up in the Justice League movies, but I would I'd rather him stay true to, with the Flash that we have as the TV show, because I really like him. I don't really know much about the new guy who's going to be playing him, but yeah, I really like the new Flash show, which we'll talk about in just a little bit.
Hold on. You said that Shazam is 2019?
That is correct.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but The Rock, who I know you're a big fan of, Zach, is going to be in, he's the villain, correct?
Yep.
In 2019, he's going to be 47 years old. Now, don't get me wrong, he's still a huge dude for being 42, but I feel like that's kind of pushing.
Well, and don't forget, they're going to be filming a year or two ahead of time, and then they got post-production. But still, your concern is valid. That being said, Black Adam's like 3,000 years old.
Yeah.
So he's kind of an older dude. But his aging was paused when he became...
I'm just saying,
whatever.
if they're going to carry him over to multiple movies, which I'm assuming he's The Rock, why wouldn't they? I get it. I mean, I'm a big Rock fan. Having said that, you're starting him at age 46 to 47.
Yeah, I don't see Black Adam being a recurring character.
All right, maybe I'm wrong.
People think he's going to be the next Loki.
That would be awesome.
They think that he might have that. I mean, obviously, it'll depend on how well the movie goes, because I really doubt Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
I really doubt that. First off, when he did Thor, that they were going to be like, all right, yeah, you're going to be in Avengers as the main bad guy.
He killed it.
He has a cult following now. It's kind of creepy.
He's amazing. He was awesome.
No, it's cool. I'm a big fan, but like
it is kind of
people,
creepy.
it's almost like the Benedict Cumberbatch. If you just mention Hiddleston, people will just start fawning all over themselves.
Yeah, they lose their minds.
But so anyway, all right, switching gears. Turns out HBO, in their infinite wisdom, thank God,
Yeah.
is starting, I believe, next year, going to be doing independent streaming of their shows. No cable subscription required, which, as someone who pays for Xfinity, I now know that HBO is awesome.
I think I can finally cut the cord. I feel like I can finally say
knocking on the door.
I am going to be done paying the ridiculous fees that cable charges me for
I
a
don't
whole
want 16 music channels.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to pay for those music channels and all those other stupid channels, like all those QVC
Guess how many times I've
and
watched
jewelry
Lifetime?
channels.
Yes. It rhymes with hero and starts with a Z.
How many
don't
times does your wife watch it? And I'm not cracking jokes. I'm
I
just saying that.
I don't think
But
she did. Not when I'm around. Because I walk in, laugh, and leave.
I mean, really, for my wife, the only shows on actual cable that we watch are HGTV and the Food Network. Those are the only two.
I love diners, drive-ins, and dives.
It's a good show.
It's my guilty pleasure.
Guy, gotta love Guy.
I thought you didn't like guys.
I hated him, and I have no idea why. I'm a
'Cause
big
he's
fan.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm a
He
huge
says
fan.
ridiculous stuff like, it's Flavor Town right there.
You're out of bounds, Stu. That's
Yeah.
a guy quote. Yeah, I love it. I'm with you guys. I think this is definitely the time. You guys know my viewing habits, and I'm not going to incriminate. But yeah, if you can cut the cord, you get a good cable or a good cable internet. Maybe you live in a Google Fiber town, or actually, there's a rural thing going on in Indiana now that's going to be very similar to that, crazy fast. But you're out in the middle of nowhere, so bummer.
It's actually brilliant. Think of it. Okay, let me put it this way. Game of Thrones is the most pirated TV show in history.
Yep,
Right?
300 million or something.
Yeah. Why do you think it was so pirated?
Because
it's hard to get.
It's hard to get, and
Exactly.
it adds to your cable bill for
Exactly.
3 months, 2.5
So
months.
let's say
Ish.
you don't have to do that now. You don't have to. Number one, you don't have to get cable to
Mhm.
have HBO.
Yep.
Number two, you don't have to pay it in addition to your cable fee to get HBO.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how that will affect the rate of piracy versus people just like honestly watching it.
I don't think it's going to go down too much because the people who've gotten it for free, they're not going to want to pay. They might do it. Some of them will. Because they'll have the ease of access and they'll be able to watch it live. For those who don't want to wait live, they have an hour or so. That it's really hard. I'll probably pay for it. It depends on how much it costs. If this is going to be $25, $30
They have
a
not,
month,
They have not announced cost yet.
yeah,
My concern.
I don't think I can do $30 a month. That's almost half of a cable bill.
Mhm. My concern is how much are the cable companies going to raise internet rates, knowing that people are fixing to start cutting cords? Because if you have Hulu Plus or Amazon Prime or Netflix or whatever, you can really get away with not watching a lot of stuff on the actual cord anymore.
But then we get to the point where we have Netflix, $10 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have, let's say, those who do Hulu. That's another $8 a month. You add this on, which if we think modestly, it'll probably be $20 a month for.
Probably $15-$20, yeah.
So you add that on. Plus, if you do have cable, add that on. Or even if you don't have cable, if you start adding all of these separate cable services, like CBS just is now going to do a subscription base, $6 a month.
Who in their ever-loving mind would pay money to watch CBS?
Well, CBS isn't on Netflix. CBS isn't on
I really,
Amazon.
really like the Big Bang
Amazon
Theory.
or CBS isn't on Hulu, and so they want their own subscription base.
and they got Elementary too, don't they?
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's a good show.
And they can do that because compared to the other two networks, they're raking it in.
Yeah,
They've been number one for I don't know.
that's a
how
good
long.
point.
so I'm kind of worried that now that we're getting into this, kind of a la carte, kind of not. You get to choose what you want to
You know
do,
what's gonna happen?
but if you start picking them, your bill is going to be higher than it is now.
what's gonna happen is they're gonna have an a la carte service, and you're gonna choose. Okay, I want HBO. I want this. I want that. I want this. And okay, and I bundle them together. Now what is that? That's called cable. Oh,
Yeah.
well,
And it'd probably be more expensive than if you just bought
yeah,
the basic.
exactly.
It's
And-
definitely worth looking into, though.
And with cable or with internet, you have to make sure that you have good speeds.
Mhm.
if there's a ton of people watching a live thing, a lot of times there's delay or lag or there's not that with cable. So it's going to be very interesting. I hope maybe with this push, cable will go down to kind of keep the competitiveness, keep people intrigued in it, and not raise the prices every 10 to 12 months. That is the part that kills me. Is like, you say I can get cable for $30 a month. I have no problem paying you $30, maybe even $40 a month for what I want. But if you don't give me what I want and you give me all these channels that I absolutely don't want, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm done. I'll cut the cord. Am I going to be a pirate? Maybe I'm going to have to be.
Sail the high seas. Sail them. The water's fine. I had to. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty intriguing. I'm very excited to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, so I think it's going to come out sometime next year. They'll announce probably here in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, what the price is going to be. But we'll definitely keep you guys up to date with all of that. Now we're going to go into the weekly digital fix, where we talk about the latest technology news. First, Dropbox sent emails out to a lot of people this week, saying that millions of usernames and passwords were exposed. They say it was not a hack, that no one hacked into their system. They say it was a third-party source that released this information. So if you do have a Dropbox, please go and just reset your password to something else, and even do the
Form authentication.
Yeah.
I just made that word up.
Two-form authentication. Man, my mind is just not following your words. All right, we're just kind of messed up today.
How did I become the smart one here?
Push-ups.
Yeah, it's just one of those days. So yeah, please go do that. Doesn't take much time. Take you less than 2 minutes. Also, other news: Microsoft is to hold a cloud event on October 20th. Next, a lot of iOS 8 installs have been kind of halted. No one's really wanting to do the update. I don't know if that's because of it costing 5 gig to update, if people are just kind of leery of it, waiting for all the bugs to get fixed. But that's kind of big news. Also, today at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, and if you're Pacific watchers, thank you. Apple's gonna hold an event. Should be talking about iPads, possibly new Macs. We'll see. We'll try to maybe I'll do an updated part of the podcast after that, so you guys can get the latest news as soon as possible. So that was it for the weekly digital fix. Now we're going to talk about the week in review, where we kind of go over maybe the last 2 weeks of shows, because we weren't here last week. We do apologize for that, but we had lots to do last week. Especially we had premieres of The Flash and Arrow, which were awesome. So we're going to kind of go through. We'll start off maybe with Arrow, cool. And just kind of talk about how the season premiere and even last night's episode went. This is going to be kind of spoilerish, so if you have not seen, we'll go through each segment. But the first segment we're going to talk about is Arrow, both the premiere and last week's.
Mm-hmm. Holy crap! I mean, that's the 2 words I would use.
Crap!
Holy crap! A lot of questions, some answers, just a lot of questions. Like, great setup for the season. The premiere was bananas.
Oh my gosh, that was a season finale.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been in a premiere. Which is crazy. And Arrow does that every year. Each episode keeps getting better and better. I did think I liked the premiere a little bit better than last night's episode. We'll kind of get into that here in just a few minutes. But it was good. Just kind of figuring out what's happened the last 5 months. Mm-hmm. The introduction of Ray Palmer, a.k.a. the Atom.
Yep.
Him trying to take over Queen Consolidated and successfully doing so.
And flirting hard with Felicity.
Oh, my gosh.
Some would say stalking. I would be one of them.
In the first episode, we see the thing with Felicity and Oliver. They're trying, they want to have a relationship outside of Arrow. And
that, gentlemen, is what we call the friend zone.
Well, there's drama happened. It was safer for them not to be dating.
Really? There's drama on the CW?
And super attractive.
My mind cannot be blown more.
I'm just saying, what city is it where everybody's hot? It's crazy town.
It's called Abercrombie. You worked there, remember?
I did, and it was a great job.
Yeah.
I still like them. Great episode, though. The ending was bonkers.
Yeah, so let's talk about this ending. And again, this is the big spoiler from the end of the premiere.
Sarah got murked. She got turned into a human arrow catcher.
Yeah, she got like 4 or 5 arrows just in her chest.
Mm-hmm. And then fell off the top of a 3 or 4 story building and was definitely dead.
In front of her sister's eyes. Her sister fell right in front.
Yeah, almost
of,
hit her.
Laurel. So it was very, very interesting. And the thing is that we don't know, but the only clue is that Sarah knew who it was.
Yep, Sarah knew who it was, and they were an archer. And according to this week's episode, there's 20 roughly vigilante archers running around the globe.
Not with the League of Assassins.
Correct, not with the League of Assassins. So, and in this week they said that the League doesn't kill their own, which I find dubious, but we'll go with it right now because they put it in there for a reason.
Well, I feel like in the second season when they brought the League of Assassins and Sarah on board, Sarah was like, she was running from her life. Like, she was running for her life because they were going to find her and kill her because she left the League of Assassins.
Right.
So I don't know if maybe because she left the League of Assassins, that doesn't make her one of their own. But then they also say that you never leave the League of Assassins.
The only person I think it can be is Raish. I think it's Raish Al Ghul.
And it could be, because we know he's going to be in this season. And what of a way to do it. Unless it was, what's her face? Her
Speedy?
No, her love interest.
Oh, Sin?
No, not Sin.
Nissa?
Nissa.
Yeah.
It could be Nissa. Maybe
Natalia.
Yeah, Natalia. Maybe her father, was like, you have to do this. She has betrayed us way too many times. I know you care for her, but this has to end.
That's a good point.
So
could be. We still don't know.
Very interesting.
I'm over the drunk Laurel crying all the time, though. I'm kind of pumped.
Well, she wasn't drunk last night. I mean, she was crying and she was upset, and she's breaking into, the new canary shoes.
Mm-hmm. So what are they going to do? You think that's going to be technological? For all that y'all that don't know, the Black Canary in the books it was like a sonic scream, wasn't it? And she was a martial arts expert.
Yep.
Both of which Laurel is not.
No, but we know. I don't know if she was a martial arts expert. She trained with Black Cat, who was the boxer.
Or Wildcat or something.
Wildcat, I think. And he's supposed to be in this season. He's supposed to throw a cameo in and kind of help. Yeah. So I think she's going to learn how to do this stuff this season so that she can, maybe towards the end of the season, pick it up.
Whooping. And they could go the tech route.
Yeah. Oh, and they did. I mean, they did the sonic screen before with she just threw a device in there and it blew up all the glass. Yeah. Sarah did.
So they can go that way.
So yeah, they can definitely do it that way. Lastly, she did pull the black jacket out last night again.
Yeah. And I don't know if y'all
Laurel did
do the spoilers, but she's already been fitted for the mask.
Yeah.
It was all over the internet the other day.
Yep.
Which was awesome. But longest way possible, watch the show. If you watched it the first season and kind of got off it, it's gotten so much better.
I mean, season 2, I think every episode got better and better and better.
It's fantastic.
And this season is just jumping the gun or just going straight with it. Ray Palmer as the Atom, he's very good.
I like Brandon Routh. I liked him in Chuck.
Chuck, he was Superman in Superman Returns, which is, I think that's probably the weirdest thing to think about is that he was Superman. Just not too long ago, 7 years? It was probably 9 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
So he was Superman a while back. It's weird he's back with DC. And then kind of reprising his Chuck role in a way, too. How they're doing the Best Buy or Buy More or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I thought that
buying
was funny.
Felicity's store and kind of forcing her hand into working for her.
$1.2 billion.
Yeah.
That is something.
But, and the other thing is, did you notice that they're trying to change it back to Star City and not Starling City?
I did notice that.
Like Ray Palmer, like everyone else keeps saying Starling, but Ray Palmer is really on this Star City, that he's going to change the city to Star City.
And for those of you, the reason that that's important is because it's actually known as Star City in the comic books, and they changed it to Starling for some reason for the show. And I don't think I ever heard why.
I think it was just because it's not like the comics, they're not making it superhero themed. I know they have entered the Flash, and so now they're going into more of the superpowers, but the Arrow show is trying to keep it simple, trying to keep it keep it more grounded. So I think now that they've kind of brought the Flash into the mix, I think they're like, maybe we can try for our, stick with the comic book roots, and what better way to try to change a city that's been in chaos for 2.5 years than to change it. And Star City would change it.
Yeah,
and bring it back to the comics.
Rebranding.
So,
How about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
wowzers.
Well, another show that's gotten steadily better.
Yes, I was so over it halfway through the first season because it was boring. The characters did not click.
Yeah, it was rough.
You know, after Cap 3 and Cap 2, sorry, Cap 2 and the second half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it has gotten way better, and the premiere has done it again. I mean, I still have some issues with it, which, you know, is probably fine because, you know, I really do like the DC shows more than the Marvel shows, but
Wow,
it's great.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to find out what the writing is, if it's a circuitry or if it's Kree writing, what's going on with that. Like that. I don't know if y'all caught this. You watched last night or the other night? Whatever it was?
Yes, I did watch this past week.
Did you notice Fitz never has issues talking when he's talking to himself / what's her name?
Right.
And when he did that little thing at the end with the beard.
He does have some. He doesn't remember the words all the time, and she kind of like puts the words into his head, so he knows the words.
Yeah, it's just like accessing them. But did you notice that when he's talking to her, his imaginary friend, and at the very end when he was talking to the guys about he liked a girl and it didn't work out and now he's here thing, didn't have any issues both times.
Right.
So I almost wonder if the answer isn't going to be a medical answer where they give him the Kree blood or whatever, but it's almost just something clicks and he's all of a sudden like probably when she comes back.
Right. And that could be it. It could have needed that break away from Simmons to actually get that break.
I like the new guys.
I do. I really am liking the new guys more and more. The first episode, I was kind of like, who are these guys? I really don't understand them.
Yep.
But now we're at episode 3.
The mercenary's all right.
Yeah, the mercenary's all right.
The new tech guy's cool.
Yeah, definitely like him. He's really funny.
Yeah, and he's Fitz his buddy, man. Like I really like them a lot.
This big old tough guy is like
man-child.
Man-child.
And he's looking out for the little Fitz. I was cheesing. I'll admit it. At that final scene when Fitz was hanging out with him, I was cheesing like a fool. And that rarely happens. Really not with TV shows or movies. But I was. They hooked me. I'm a fan. Great show.
Yep. I mean, I'm gonna stay with it. So definitely on the up and up. Legend of Korra, since is now started back up with the last season, book 4.
They're going out with a bang.
They are.
With a bang.
You want to tell me your thoughts about it?
Big fan. I'm really intrigued. First off, I want to see more Varric with his assistant, Julin, or whatever her name is, Julie.
I was so over them after the second season.
He's just so erratic and ridiculous and totally insane. I think if it was every ep, I'd be like, shoot this guy in the face with a fireball. But big fan. I want to see the magnetic shield if that comes back because he made those little exosuits very briefly in the last season.
Right.
I like Korra being this prize fighter, kind of finding her way. Really pumped about her meeting Toph. I mean, we knew that was coming a million miles away, but pretty pumped about that. Really excited for this final season. Kind of bummed it's the last one, but really excited. They've done a great job.
I'm really hoping that they bring out all the stops and they give us closure that we need, and I think they will. They did that with Avatar, the Last Airbender, except that we kind of wonder what the middle story is, between this
Metal benders.
and last one.
Oh, have you read the comics?
No.
I just started going through them. They're pretty cool. Check them out. It's called The Promise, and then that takes place pretty soon after the first show was done. Then there's another one called The Search, I think, and that's where Zuko looks for his mom. I haven't gotten all the way through that yet. Pretty interesting. You see Aang kind of as a teenager. It's creepy because he looks a lot like Tenzin.
Really?
A lot.
Yeah.
Minus the beard.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look forward to that. I'll try. I'm gonna have to definitely go through that once I finish the Naruto manga. I'll have to definitely have to check that out. Gotham.
So here's my thing with Gotham. I no longer hate the Catwoman actress,
Which
And I
she
didn't
was
really
not
hate her.
in this past week's episode.
No, and I really didn't have that much beef with her. It's just something weird. You know who I really don't like? Fish Mooney, which is crazy because I love.
You
Jada
don't
Pinkett.
like Fish Mooney?
I don't like the accent.
Oh my
It drives me. I
gosh.
like her as a person. I like the actress. I can't stand that accent. Like it. I'm actually having issues right now thinking about it.
I actually really like her, and I really do like her accent. I don't have a problem with it.
I do like the high stakes job interview though. That was pretty awesome.
The really creepy American Idol thing that was going on there. I've
Stu,
been reading so many reviews that are trying to compare it to like this creepy version of American Idol.
It was like high stakes American Idol. She has these two girls both try and sing. They're both pretty good. Then she has them both try and seduce her for some reason. That's not really been. I don't know if they're taking the place of that one guy
Well,
as
I
like her significant other, or if it's for a job.
No, I think it's for a job. I think she's like trying to get her to flirt in and kind of flirt with either what are the two guys' names?
Harvey or Jim.
No, the two crime bosses guys.
Oh, Maroney or
Falcone and Maroney.
Yep.
I think they're trying to work her in. So like,
Ooh, that's a good call.
She is definitely
Stu, she had them beat each other up for the job, and the one girl went ham. I would not want her.
You knew that was going to happen from watching it. You knew which one was going to win the battle.
Yeah,
you kind of like the first one,
Mm-hmm.
but the second one, you're like, oh my gosh, she's going to kill it.
Yeah, and let's just give props to the guy that plays the Penguin. Holy crap,
He is
that guy's
freaky.
excellent.
Yeah, he does his job really well as early Penguin.
I would say my favorite people in the show right now are Jim Gordon, Harvey Bullock, because the guys that play them both done an excellent job. I kind of like the creepy Bruce Wayne, but a lot of people don't. I like Alfred. I like the Fish Mooney character. I just can't stand that accent. I really hate the Riddler. I can't stand him.
I'm over him. He could have been somebody we could just deal without for a while. Maybe bring him in season 2 as maybe the same role.
Mm-hmm.
But we're so overwhelmed with villains right now that I'm
lot.
just like, I don't care. I really don't care about you. Just go away.
Well, and how loose is Gotham fixing to get in the 15 years before Bruce turns into Batman? Goodness, they're going to burn that place to the ground.
They're gonna burn it before he's even old enough to be Batman.
Yeah, he's still talking about lunch money, and there's going to be no Gotham left. I mean, I don't get it. There's probably 15 villains right now, and each week you get a new one, and the Balloon Man's still running around, I believe. I need to rewatch that. Yeah, he's still running around, isn't he? Because he escaped.
Did he escape? I thought he was caught at the end.
Yeah, you know what? He was. I'm getting my apps mixed up. So I don't know, but there's a lot of guys out. We still haven't met the Joker. Poison Ivy's still some punk in the Dub T house. It'll be interesting to see how these folks develop. And we haven't met Bane. Who knows if he'll be in there? Killer Croc, Clayface, the Man Bat, Harley Quinn. I don't recall. Although she'll probably come in with Arkham because she was a psychiatrist.
Right.
Hugo Strange, one of the two guys that knew Batman's true identity. He ran Arkham. Is he going to be on the show? I don't know.
I'm not really liking the titles they give these, just because, except for Balloon Man, maybe, they really haven't really mean anything. Like, yes, this week was about Arkham, and yes, they discussed Arkham, and that was kind of the theme, but I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. It's just land.
It was the throwaway title, yeah. I feel like they keep them vague enough so you don't know what's going on if you read it. But on the same hand, the Arkham plot was really only about 2 minutes of the whole ep.
Also, Arkham City, is it within Gotham City?
I think of it's like the old historical neighborhoods, like you have Meridian Hills here, or Westchester, or Normandy Farms, where it's like a small area inside, or like Chicago, you know, how you have like Deer Park, although those are actually kind of towns. But that's kind of, I guess.
I mean, I guess it's just kind of weird. It just seems like, you know, you have a city within a city. It's just kind of
I think it's just like a historical neighborhood that just happens to be massive.
Maybe it was not Gotham at one point in time and then just became into Gotham.
Yeah, it got absorbed. Because I never realized it was a whole area. I thought it was just the asylum. So that'll be curious. What about Star Wars Rebels?
You know, I actually haven't even watched it yet.
I watched both eps so far, and the more and more I watch these shows, not counting the extended universe, the more and more I think we've been okey-doked. I don't think Star Wars is about Vader and his rise and fall and then his family. I think it's about those two stupid droids, C-3PO and R2-D2, and all their adventures. No joke, if you look through the history of the Star Wars canon, it's always them. Where they had that cheesy cartoon show, they had...
I mean, even we don't know much about R2-D2's origin per se, but we definitely know C-3PO from episode 1.
Yep.
So maybe, you know, when the next trilogy comes out, maybe we'll see the death of C-3PO, and then we actually have the life and death of C-3PO. That's what the new saga of Star Wars is going to be called.
I think they're the main
I'm calling
characters.
it right now.
You know what I find interesting is...
Wow, Stu's actually coming into this.
I'm pumped.
Haven't heard from him in like 15 minutes.
I didn't watch any of that TV all we're talking about. I'm not going to be sitting here and be like, yeah, totally, because, yeah. No, y'all watched it. I figured I'd let you talk. But no, so with Star Wars, I think we can all agree Luke's a whiny, emo, pansy ass.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the first term that came to mind. I would much rather watch C-3PO and R2-D2 than watch Luke sit there and emote.
R2's a stone cold killer.
That's what I'm saying.
C-3PO is a punk.
Well, I find no Coincidence that C-3PO was built by Luke's father, so he fails twice.
Yeah, because you'd really think.
Leia's okay, I guess.
You'd really
But
think.
1 out of 3, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. I just would have
Meatloaf
thought.
said that. Having said that, 1 out of 3 sucks. So, in other words, Anakin Skywalker, you suck.
To be fair, though, Anakin was a whiny B2 for a long time.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
The whole Skywalker family,
They
Navy
failed.
wiped out.
They failed. The best Skywalker was Jason, and he was the Solo.
False.
Jason
False.
Solo was
False.
the
False.
best.
You take that back.
No, man, he had a
Anakin
matte
Solo.
black Star Destroyer.
Anakin Solo.
Solo, meh. Yeah, he could walk through. He could phase stuff. He died. He died when he was young. This robot turned into him. Lame. Jason Solo could stop Star Destroyer bolts with his bare hands. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he die too?
Yeah, because of some lame...
Your argument's invalid.
Man, because of some lame stuff where
Your
they wanted
argument is
Jaina and
invalid.
Luke to be these
The reason you
ultimate
think Anakin
deities.
Solo isn't the biggest BA is because he died. Well, in that case, anyone who dies is not awesome.
Did
Go
Anakin
ahead.
Solo
I'll wait.
burn half a Kashyyyk? The Wookiee homeworld, for those of you?
I don't know.
He did, and it was dope because they messed up.
Good for him. He set a wildfire. I
he
can do that with a
repeatedly-
cigarette butt out in Montana right the hell now.
But he did it way cooler.
And I'll beat Smokey's ass.
That would be awesome.
Bring it
to
on,
watch.
Bear.
Bear. I think we need to have some sort of fundraiser where Stu wrestles a bear.
I'll do it.
It'd be awesome. Well, you heard it here first. Part 2, Jason was way cooler.
Notice I did not say which kind of bear. I'm looking at you koalas.
Man, they're devastating.
Okay, fine. Gummies. I'll eat them. Nom, nom, nom.
Then you'll get the Beatus, and Wilford Brimley will cry, and walruses everywhere will be depressed.
All right. I guess we can just run down the other things that we watch. We didn't get to talk about The Flash. We'll talk about The Flash
you said
next
I didn't
week.
talk for 15 minutes. This is what happens when I talk.
I know, you just become ridiculous.
All I'm saying is, who's the wheelchaired guy on the Flash? Keep that in your pot boiling.
The
But
wheelchair-
apparently he was
It's like his like leader at Star Labs.
Oh.
Feeds in a wheelchair.
and they made this guy directly for the comics, or directly for the show, so he might not even have been in the comics. So
Mhm.
we'll kind of keep a lookout, keep you updated. Next week we'll probably talk more about Flash. I know this week we kind of talked a lot about Arrow and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham. Next week we'll kind of focus on the Flash and some other shows. So yeah, I watched the Flash pilot and the first ep, pretty good. Once Upon a Time, I think we're at the second episode, something like that.
Least favorite season ever.
It's fine. I mean, it's very interesting if you've seen. I mean, if you don't know, they're doing the Frozen story arc. It's interesting. We can talk more about that at a different episode. I know we're kind of running low on time. Revenge. Have not seen this week's episode. Need to catch up on Walking Dead because I have not started watching that one.
I actually watched the season premiere of that, and I gave up on Walking Dead a long time ago. Pretty decent.
Was it good?
Pretty decent.
Good.
Am I going to watch it routinely? No.
Oh,
They lost me.
But maybe once in a while when you have a chance.
Yeah, it's not
I
bad.
mean, we have a million shows. I mean, we kind of also been watching How to Get Away with Murder, which is a very interesting kind of a show.
It's a show that I will watch the rest of this season unless it gets terrible, and I probably won't watch any future seasons.
I kind of feel you. If it gets really good, maybe we'll stick around. But
Yeah.
But I definitely agree. I've stopped watching Legacy.
I don't know what that is.
It's the TNT show with Sean Bean.
Oh, Legends.
Or
That's gotten really
Legends.
good.
I don't know why I put Legacy down, but
Because
yeah,
it's leaving a
Legends.
legacy. Sean Bean is the truth.
Yeah, I have kind of stopped. I'm like 4 episodes behind, and I'm kind of disappointed.
And he hasn't died yet.
Yeah, Stu,
Well,
you'd really like Legends. Oh, the season's over, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the finale was last week. They did 2 eps.
Okay.
Good first season. I believe it got renewed.
Okay, good.
You'd really like that show, Stu.
Yeah, I got 4 episodes left, so I'm. Is it only 10 episodes?
Yeah, they dropped some bombs the last 2 eps.
Sweet.
I'm not even going to say them, but bombs.
Looking forward to
And
it.
I'm not talking about Operation Fire in the Sky or whatever the mission was. I wish I was that clever. Realized it after I started talking.
Cool.
And then I found $10. Anywho, watch Legends. It's dope.
Staring at you right
All
now.
right.
I know.
I'm not
it's
saying a
really
word.
awkward.
You guys,
I'm
have you guys
judging
been
you, I'm
watching,
judging
playing
that.
anything? I've been playing a little bit of Destiny. Did the Iron Banner this weekend, and I nailed it.
Yeah, I'm on doing the Destiny. You got 2 Soros regimes. Don't even use one.
Those are exotic weapons, by the way.
And they're awesome.
No, look at me. I'm Andy Bell and I got the coolest stuff.
Whatever. I would have given it to either of you if I could trade, but it won't
No.
let you.
Hopefully
would
that
rather
will be in
find
a
it.
future update that they'll allow us to kind of trade around weapons and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool.
Finished Attack on Titan, True Detective, and Devil is a Part-Timer. All 3 pretty awesome shows.
Sweet. Those are things all on my list of things I need to watch.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Devil's Part-Timer is hilarious. That was a show I didn't think I would like. I watched a couple and I got hooked. Really hope they come out with the second season. Spoiler alert, I believe they are.
I watched myself. in the mirror whilst working out.
How am I the narcissist? And this dude says stuff like that.
We might have to change this title.
I know. I'm impressed. A little bit
Yeah,
jealous.
but how you gonna have narcissist starts with an N, not a B?
Can we call
I'm
him
the best,
Barcissist?
the baddest.
Narcissist? Narcissist? Jesus.
We should make
See,
Narcissauce.
now he's losing his words.
We could sell it. I'll sell it to
Okay,
Kanye.
what is? Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. What's in Narcissauce?
Whiskey. Because once you drink that, you feel like you could do anything, and everything is everybody else's fault.
What, are we doing whiskey or bourbon?
Bourbon,
Yeah, bourbon.
clearly.
All right, we gotta wrap this up. We want to give credit to the person who created our logo, Mary Algier. We forgot the first couple episodes. We want to keep giving her credit for that. So thanks, Mary. Also, if you would like to donate to our podcast, you can go to our Patreon account. It's patreon.com/beardbraidbrawn. Patreon is spelled Patreon. You can also go to A Digital Fix to donate there to catch up on all the latest podcasts. We're also on YouTube, and we are also on iTunes. So subscribe to our podcasts weekly.
They're only going to get better.
They're only going to get better. Once I think we've gotten our rhythm down. We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're starting off strong.
They keep making cool shows. I'll keep talking about it.
Yep. If you guys have any suggestions on topics you want us to talk about, have anything you want us to add to the show, any advice you have for us, you can email us at adigitalfix@gmail.com. So, yeah. This was a good episode, guys.
Yeah. Well, gang, enjoy the podcast. Have a great weekend, and don't join the Jedi. They're a bunch of punks. Peace.
Or you can join the Jedi.